County Recycling Convenience Center, located at 105 Romeo Lane in Uniontown. The Hard to Recycle Day will specifically accept challenging items including electronics, appliances, and scrap metals, furniture, mattresses, box springs, passenger and light truck tires, both on and off the rim, and specialty recycling items including 4 and 8-foot fluorescent bulbs, and packing, shipping, and food-grade foam products. Please be aware this is not a hazardous materials collection. No hazardous waste, liquids, or other chemicals will be accepted. The Hard to Recycle Spring Cleaning Day, Saturday, April 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Fayette County Recycling Convenience Center, located at 105 Romeo Lane in Uniontown. We will see you there.
As the weather warms up, don't run from the sun. Enjoy more time on your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made right here in the USA with both manufacturer and customer satisfaction guarantees, Lifetime Awnings provides a product that lasts. Veteran owned and operated, a 10% discount is offered to all military veterans and their families. For a no-cost obligation free home consultation, call 724-554-6067 or email the owner, John, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Hey, how's Timmy's ankle? That was a rough game yesterday.
He's doing okay. We took him straight to Montgomery Medical since they have same-day care, and they were able to x-ray him on the spot. No break, thank goodness.
That's great news. I just took my mom to Montgomery Medical, too. She was under the weather, and they offer walk-ins, so she was seen right away. They're great.
Now if we could just get this soccer team to be as good as Montgomery Medical.
Visit the new Montgomery Medical office on Laurel View Drive or visit montymed.com. Primary care for all ages.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect gift. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Nate Ferguson is here in Uniontown to help you select the right protection at the right price. Nate will make sure you understand your coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Nate Ferguson, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call Nate when you want the real deal.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Think about the last time you thanked yourself for something. Maybe it was that me time you took last Tuesday, or finally learning Italian. Want to do something you'll really thank yourself for later? Start creating a plan for your financial goals today. State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson is right here in Uniontown to help you look at the things you want to save for and build a plan to set you up for success. The earlier you start planning, the better off you will be. Call State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson today and thank yourself later. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you noticing your house getting a little drafty? Use your tax refund and call Monarch Windows and Doors. Family owned and operated with over 20 years experience, Monarch Windows and Doors can make your home warm again. Monarch Windows and Doors only use their own employees, no subcontractors. They are BBB accredited and offers military discounts. Call Monarch Windows and Doors and find out what they could do for you. 412-215-8116. That's 412-215-8116. Or see Monarch Windows and Doors on Google or Facebook.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guest, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the position of WMBS Radio. The following is a paid political presentation. Candidates may have provided all or some questions to the host and may or may not take phone calls. WMBS and the host do not endorse any political candidate on air during a paid political presentation.
Attack. Time has come, we're gonna take it back. Just wait and see. Don't tread on me. I won't sit back, stand idly by. Watch the heart of my nation die. Oh, not me. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on my Bible, don't tread on my guns. Don't you tread on my faith in God's only son. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on me.
62 degrees, and right now it's starting raining. Monarch Windows and this show is being brought to you by Monarch Windows and Doors, Miles Garage and Tire Center, PatriotsOnline.com, Fayette County Recovery and Storage and U-Haul, Country Motor Sales, Tactical Civics, Solid Foundation Ministry, New Life Free Methodist Church, Highline Motorsports, Gun Owners of America, the Hillbilly Jon radio show, and Jon Marietta for We the People. We're going to start out with, I have Isaiah 48. The grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of God stands forever. I'm on Ashkins today. What's today? Today is one of the most important days for our country.
Oh no, another history question that my sister's going to be disappointed I don't know.
I can tell you what happened.
I'll give you a clue.
April 19th, 1775.
Are we allowed to use our phones?
No.
Dang it.
I kind of know the answer. I heard
Nick, can we get can we do a lifeline to Nick?
Do you know? You don't know either?
Today was the first shot. It was fired in the Revolutionary War.
Oh, Melanie.
It was the first. It was first battle.
I wasn't listening to my clue.
There was 70. There was actually 70 Minutemen that stood their ground against. They pushed the British back into Boston. I believe it was Boston where the siege was. Then they kept them there. But anyways, they wanted the powder stores, and we decided, no, you ain't going to get it. And that's what happened. Yep.
That's when we stood up for ourselves.
I'll let you do some research. You can tell me who the captain was in charge.
Okay, the captain in charge.
Yeah. So, anyways,
are we going to get back to that by the end of the show?
It's been a busy week. Me and Melanie been out and about and everywhere, and Melanie's running for delegate. For President Trump. We want to get her elected.
In the congressional district, yes.
Yep. And we've been in Washington County. We've been in Indiana County. We've been in we're going to be Westmoreland County and Greene County, and we're going to be working the polls in several different counties and trying to help her get elected. I know she put a big mailer out.
Yeah, it came out today. One even came to my house. It's kind of funny seeing your own mailer come to your own house. It's amidst the bills and everything else. It was kind of nice. Yeah,
I think you were probably voting for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Could have eliminated that one.
But anybody that got them, please use the QR code because we're trying to track. We're trying to track some things, and
this little
it helps.
There's some fun stuff in there too.
Yeah.
A lot of information, music, some great stuff in there.
Yeah, and if you go to Facebook and you want to click on it's the QR code. Do I have it right?
Yes.
Yeah. It tracks Facebook separately and YouTube separately, and so we know exactly what we're trying to get it. We're trying to get some demographics about some things.
We are, yeah.
So, anyways, last night. we was at a fiery event in Washington County.
Oh, it certainly was.
And
commissioners meeting.
It was a commissioners meeting, and what I want to say is they decided after the people in Washington County petitioning and well, maybe not petitioning, but asking very, very gently and maybe a little bit not so gently, they decided to have a meeting in the evening.
In the evening.
And I want to commend them for that. Because I really feel that that's what we need. They're trying to promote transparency. They're trying to do the right thing. They went through the commissioners' meeting as normal, and then they had a comment period afterwards. Well, I want to tell you that the Washington County commissioners stood their ground, something that isn't happening here in Fayette County. The commissioners stood their ground. They're not going to cure mail-in ballots. And of course, there was two sides. Actually, there was three sides to that. There were two. There was one side of the people. They were kind of like, okay, this is okay, but then the other side of the people, they really wanted it. They didn't want them to cure the ballots, of which they were supporting the commissioners. And then of course there was the third side that said that they were trying to direct election in a particular way. Well, if you don't sign your mail-in ballot and you don't date it, it won't be counted. So what they're saying is the Washington County commissioners are saying is the federal court ruled that if you don't sign it and you don't date it, it don't count. It's not up to us to make sure you cure that. And
so that's what the big deal is.
Well, they think that the election office should take time to call people to make sure it's cured. And over there, it's going to amount to in the primary, it's going to amount to between 250 and 400 votes.
Mail-in ballots.
Mail-in ballot votes. And probably in Fayette County, it'll end up being 50 or 60 votes that shouldn't be counted. But if they're gonna, I guess they're gonna try to cure them even up to the day of the election in Fayette County. We're not sure about that. But anyways, this is the ruling that came down from the federal court that said they won't be counted. And of course, we went to we battled this already once in Fayette County, and the commissioners they're gonna stand their ground. It looked like they're gonna stand their ground. Yeah. Actually, they were trying to get them to have another election board meeting, and they said it's too late. We're not really wanting to do that.
That was my point last night, making the comments. Whether you're for curing or not to cure or not to cure, that's not the question. It's just changing the rules of the game at the last minute. At the end of the ninth inning here. You can't change the rules, and the rule and the law is, and that's what they decided. But we're 4 days before an election, and they want to make this change and have the commissioners, turn their vote around, reconsider that. And they were doing that last night. They were pretty angry about it too. Loud crowd. A lot of people there. It was standing room only.
I counted. There was well over 100, and I really think that the Fayette County commissioners need to take a lesson from that, because they have their meetings at 10:30 in the morning, and there would be more people there. The taxpayers of Fayette County deserve to hear from the commissioners rather than them hiding from them.
Right.
And that's kind of what they're doing. I mean, I know they do the TV thing, and
it's not the same as being in person, though.
Being able to come in person.
But
I think they're having 2 or 4 night meetings a year. I know at least 2, possibly 4 times in the evening.
Washington County?
Yeah, Washington County.
So I think it's something that they need to take a look at. I mean, and I will give them credit. They did not cower.
Yeah.
They did. They
were attacked. They were
attacked.
Oh my gosh.
They stood their ground. They stood and they said that. And then after the meeting, they said, we have no.
Nick Sherman said.
He says, I don't have no.
Stood his ground.
Yep. He said, I don't have no. I'm not changing my vote. He said, right. we can have as many meetings as you want. I'm not changing my vote. And
the 2 Republicans voted in favor of not curing, and the 1 Republican, Larry Magi, voted to cure the ballots. He wanted to cure the ballots. He was the Democrat.
Yeah.
But the 2 Republicans were firm on not curing. They're going to go with their decision, and there was no way they were going to change that.
And Melanie and I were there. Of course, Melanie owns property in Washington County, so she got to speak, and she did a really good job. And I probably could have spoke too if I would have wanted to, but I felt like that the point was being made that these 2 commissioners were standing their ground, something that we're not seeing right here in Fayette County. I mean, let's think about it. They need to stand up for what's right.
That's right.
And going back to what Melanie says, you can't change you can't
change the vote.
You can't change the rules at the very last minute. Like, if that's what they wanted to do, they should have gone to the meeting and petitioned that months in advance, where they actually could have had, maybe came up with a resolution or whatnot to the problem, right?
Well, that's what I made the suggestion, that when you're going to think about the pros and cons of curing a ballot, that needs to be done November 5th, 6th, right. The day after the presidential election. We're coming upon the Super Bowl of all presidential elections in November. We can't be moving the goalposts and changing the rules. We did that in 2020, right. And look where that ended up.
Right. Yeah, the law states that one of Act 77, the law states that all ballots that are to be counted have to be in the office. It have to be at the BOE, the mail-in ballots, rather.
Yeah.
Have to be by
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock that night. And so if they're not there, then they shouldn't be counted. Well, Ohio didn't count theirs in 2016. That's right. Yeah, in 2016, they didn't. Anything that came in after that, they didn't count. But in 2020, they didn't do the same thing. In Florida, didn't do the same thing. They didn't count them. But there was many ballots that came in after that. And once, if they're not in the election office by 8 o'clock, then they shouldn't be counted.
Yeah.
I mean, and one of the things
There should be deadlines that you have to follow, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that
we do at jobs.
Yeah.
if you're a new voter, from what I understand, now Melanie works the polls. If I come in and I'm a brand new voter, do I have to show an ID?
Yes, you have to show ID.
I have to show an ID. So, and then I have to also show where I'm. I have to be a resident of that precinct also.
Right. Right.
So, but if you do a mail-in ballot, there's no ID to be shown.
No.
You just request it.
Right.
So, Act 77, and you'd think that our state representative that voted for this, Ron Warner and Senator Pat Savano would be trying to figure out how to fix this, or try to alleviate some of the pain for the county commissioners and the board of elections. But it just seems like
they've removed themselves. They make no comment.
No comments, and it's almost like they're hiding from everybody about this.
Yeah, don't dare ask the question about that. That's a topic they don't want to talk about. But they made that mess, and we're struggling to get through it. We're struggling to get through it here in Pennsylvania. It's outrageous. We're a laughing stock, I think, across the country with our elections here in Pennsylvania.
Going back to like curing the votes, though, is it really the
It's
Bureau?
It's not the votes. It's curing the
mail-in ballots.
Ballot.
Okay, I'm
it's
sorry.
The outside
Curing the
envelope.
ballots.
Yeah.
Okay, curing the ballots. If you're wanting to participate through mail-in ballots, I think it's your responsibility to make sure your form is filled out correctly. I don't think it should be to the responsibility of the election
a lot of
bureau,
people don't
right?
know.
You have to call them.
The date has to be correct. Okay,
Yeah.
The date has to be correct, but
The signature.
the signature, there's no signature verification at all.
It just has to be signed.
It has to be signed. So if you would put an X on it, that would be enough.
Or your dog could sign it with a paw print, I guess, too.
I guess. I don't
Okay.
know. But anyways, that's what, because there is no
sign
signature
there.
verification
In Pennsylvania, right?
Oh,
It's
there
not the law.
isn't.
No.
There isn't any set into law. Now, is there a process that is happening that would make that law at some point in here in Pennsylvania? as a
Only
state
if
law?
we can win a court case or two.
Yeah.
And then
Greg is getting pretty close, right?
we're getting very close. I mean, like I said, we got a lot of things going on in the next few days.
There's a lot of technology that can verify signature on a mail-in ballot today. We live in 2024, not 1960.
Right.
And we're not making good use of that kind of technology in our voting systems. And it's a shame. So maybe we will. And I also don't think it's fair. So if there are 100 voters that didn't sign or date, and the office is calling, 50 or 60 of them and don't get to some of them, or they don't get the message in time,
I just feel
they're missing an opportunity. So you're treating one set of voters a little differently than the other ones that didn't get the message that their signature isn't on here, or the date isn't on the
But
ballot.
if you vote in person, you got from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. and that's it.
But
Not 60 days or well, actually this time it was probably 30 days. For the primaries, 30 days. I think it's a little bit. It's 50 days, I think, for the general election.
Yeah, but I feel like if you want the convenience of mailing in a ballot because you don't want to be bothered or you don't have time to go in person, then it's your responsibility to make sure you did that right. But if you go into in-person voting and you do something wrong, there are volunteers there to help you figure out how to correct your error, because that's what they're there for. But if there's a shortage at the election bureau, why should it be their responsibility to make sure you filled out your mail-in ballot correctly? I think that if you didn't, then that's on you, right?
Well, we heard a lot of complaints and crying last night from the leftist groups that were there at the commissioners' meeting. They had members from the ACLU there, the Women League of American Voters were there, the NAACP was there, and they just whined and cried all night long of all of their family situations. They were so emotional. But we Republicans held our cool and stated our things, and they weren't basing anything on facts.
We actually me and Melanie got attacked outside. I mean, and we stood our ground. We weren't.
Yes, we did.
We were vocal, but we stood our ground, and
we were calm, and
and Melanie.
But they
Melanie kept me calm.
And Steve Renz was there too.
Yeah,
Steve was pretty good too.
Steve Renz helped us out too. So, like I said, he's running for delegate too on for Trump. But he, yep,
he's good. What I was going to say about the comments that were being made, they base their opinions and everything is on emotion. And we know that that's not the way to go. You can't think. You should base your information on findings and facts, which is what we stated last night at the meeting about what is the law in Pennsylvania, what the Supreme Court decided 3 or 4 weeks ago. You know, we plainly said, this is the law, this is the rules right now, and we have to work within them. We can't change the rules. Yeah. But, you know, they're calling us liars when, you know, they don't recognize the true facts and what the election law is in Pennsylvania.
Right.
So it's just kind of sad to see that so many are misguided, or what they call misinformed.
Well, we tried. We stayed positive all night. But we did stand our ground, and like I said, it was one of the few things that I was. It went from that the pro-life thing, and how come us Christians were all stuck all together and trying to subvert the elections, and I just wasn't following. It was one thing right after the other because they were just trying to figure out how to make us mad.
Yeah.
And they weren't doing a very good job.
Successful.
No.
But you know, the funny thing is, one of them said, you know, I'm a Christian. And I believe that a woman has a right, you know, to abort her baby. Like, you know, that's that doesn't make sense. How can you be one?
Nowhere?
Yeah, she says right off the bat. Now, I'm a Christian, and I believe that a woman has a right, that the government shouldn't tell her what to do with her own body. So, you know, that's talk about a hypocrite. That doesn't even make sense.
No.
And she canceled herself out with the second comment.
Right.
No Christian can support murder. So. But we were cool. We were good. It'll be interesting when the next meeting is. But, oh, boy, the commissioners were really taking a beating last night, too, and they stayed strong.
Yeah.
The new commissioner that's on there, Electra. And, you know, it was an interesting meeting. I think for about 90 minutes, the comments went on. 90 minutes.
Anybody that signed up got a chance to speak. They gave them all 3 minutes, and I'll tell you what, I was really impressed with that, and I think that that's the way we ought to do things in Fayette County.
Well, that would be nice.
Get people to come in, and of course, I don't know how many people we would get, but I mean they had a big topic, but about this, and they were determined that they were going to get them to change their minds, and they weren't.
Well, I'm interested in seeing how many people would be involved if that topic of discussion came up at a commissioner meeting where they had to, you know.
Well, there's lots of things that would come up, like how about let's bring up. Why don't we reduce taxes in Fayette County?
Oh, yeah.
Well, why don't we get started? Yeah. Why don't we start with that? How's that? Why don't we start with that? Let's reduce taxes in Fayette County.
Yeah, you better have a big building for that, because I think a lot of people would come out in the evening.
I think that's what we need to do. We start with the seniors, maybe, and the veterans. Yeah. And then we'll move down to keep moving down, and we'll keep reducing taxes. Yeah. And if you reduce taxes, you can build railroads like they do in South Dakota, and you can get people to come in and build factories.
How about put money in people's pockets so that they can spend it how they please?
Well,
if they want to open a business or do whatever to give them more money to spend it.
Instead of looking at how we can raise taxes or without people noticing it so much, how about let's reduce taxes for everybody?
Yeah, so we can put money back into our pockets, like we said, to spend it locally, and perhaps support the local farmers, because we want to know that what we're getting is cow meat and not something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cow meat is cow
and also
meat.
The grant, too.
It's
looking
beef.
At the grant money and where that stuff
is called
going.
Beef.
Well, cow meat, beef. But see, the city slicker says cow meat. the farmers say beef.
Well, I actually
made that up.
I actually had the opportunity to. I got to process buffalo. I got to process some buffalo one time, and I'll tell you what, a buffalo is like huge compared to a steer, so that you're used to doing. But I tell you what, if it's I've never had it frozen, but well, I guess I did have some ground meat frozen, but it has a whole completely different taste, and I can tell you, buffalo is really good, but it's really expensive too.
I don't know. We Bob had one at Mar-a-Lago when we went in February at a restaurant there, and he thought he'd try it. You know what the heck? It sounds interesting. You know, nice price tag on it, so it's got to be good.
You didn't like it?
We didn't like it.
Well, when we went
it's real strong.
Yeah.
It was a real strong taste.
It is a little stronger.
Yeah.
When we went to South Dakota, my dad was like real adamant about everybody getting a bison burger because bison is big out in South Dakota. And it is different because it tastes more gamey than a cow. Do you know what I mean? And so, or cattle or beef or however you say it, John. So that was the big thing. So we all had to go to this restaurant and have a bison burger, and my kids fell in love with it. And one day at Giant Eagle, they had it, and it's super expensive because it's not around here.
When I left Giant Eagle 5 years ago, I guess 4 years ago, it was about $10 a pound.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And we would get top sirloin buffalo in.
Oh,
and I tell you what, I really enjoyed eating it. I really did.
It's real lean, and so.
Well, see, one of the things is, I don't like nothing that's. I want it to be rare.
Yeah.
In fact, my wife will ask a lot of times. She say, "Is that even warm?" And I say, "Yeah."
It doesn't matter.
But that's how I like. And
Me too.
That's how I like to eat beef. And if any, I even eat ground meat that way if I know where it comes from.
Yeah.
But that's what we were in Kansas City, and I told a guy was asking me how to cook the steak, and I told him I says just bring it out and I'll let you know when it's done. And he said, well, it's raw right now. I said, that'll work.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when I was little, my grandma, and people thought I was weird, but my grandma, when she was making hamburgers, would give me some ground meat before she even cooked it. And so everybody thinks I'm gross whenever I have to like taste the ground meat because I mean that's what I grew up. That's how she was. Do you know what I mean? And so when John says he likes his meat rare, I'm with you, John.
I don't. It's already been processed once. You don't have to do it again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyways, but we had a very informative time. There was a lot of people there.
I met and talked with a lot of people there too. A lot of fellow patriots.
I got to talk to. I bet you. We talked to. I talked to several people on the other side too, and then I told, and a lot of them were starting to agree with. Starting to come around to what we were thinking. I mean, some of them were never going to do that, but we knew that.
But I'm glad. That's good. That's good.
Some people just want to disagree just because they can not go outside of what they believe in their people.
Well, I really believe they're doing the proper thing down in Washington County. I'm sure there's going to be probably a court case over this.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And
sounds like it.
And it sounds like that they were already trying to raise money to employ some law attorneys to get this ruling changed before
Tuesday.
Well, before the general election.
Oh, before the general election in November.
The primaries actually in Pennsylvania should be done away with because it's just the R's against the D's. I mean, and I mean we could settle that. I mean, it doesn't have to happen. I mean, and just like in Fayette County here this time, I don't think there's anybody that's opposed on the Republican side.
I don't think so either.
I don't know if there's anybody.
Any of that?
I don't think
there
is.
Fayette County, no.
I don't think for any of the state offices or.
Well, the Republican state offices, Attorney General, there is. I think that's the only one.
There's two people running for.
Attorney General.
Yeah.
3 people. 2 or 3.
There's 3 people running for Attorney General.
Maybe 2.
I thought it was just what's his name? Sunday.
Dave Sunday, and then there's another Republican
There's
running.
another Republican.
Yeah.
But like I said, all the...
And then Nikki Haley's name is still on the ballot, though. That doesn't matter, but there'll be a few people probably...
There'll probably be a few people that will vote for Nikki Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Dave McCormick's name is on the ballot in Fayette County, and so is the guy, Vodvorka, that lost his case, that didn't get enough signatures or whatever.
So
he's on there, so if you vote for him, you're voting for nobody.
You're voting for nobody.
Yeah, because he's not legally on the ballot.
Because they had to print the ballots.
They had to print them too fast, yeah.
They had to print the ballots. Okay, well...
That's an easy one, though. But there'll be a few people that didn't get that message.
I'm sure.
Vote for the guy that...
well, and then there's going to be people that, I mean, if you're not happy with the selection, I mean, you can always, there's a lot of Democrats that's going to vote, they're not going to vote for Joe Biden. They're
going to write uncommitted.
They're going to write uncommitted in.
Right in
so,
uncommitted.
That works both sides. I mean, if you're not liking the selection, you can do that. I mean,
you don't have to vote for it, yeah.
And because I do know that candidates really pay attention to the undervote.
Yeah, I think this will be a good time to show that undervote in this primary. If you're not happy with what's going on in your county or your district, but I want everyone to get out and vote for Donald Trump on Tuesday. Just show your support 100% what the man is going through in New York City. Over nonsense trial. It's just unfair what they're doing to this man, and it's for political purposes. It's to hurt the election, but it's not hurting him. He's having fun in Harlem, talking to everybody, going to what would he go to the Chick-fil-A? He's having fun, even in New York City, meeting with the people, talking with the people that he probably wouldn't have been able to do before.
Yeah, that's a city. There's,
Well, I've been to downtown Manhattan. I can tell you, it is a city.
Mm-hmm. But they're singing Trump songs in Harlem like
crazy.
And it
doesn't even start. It doesn't like during the day. It's like but at 9:00 at night, it turns into radio city station and everything just and it's unbelievable. I mean the people. I mean,
When I visited before 9/11 happened, it didn't matter what time of day you were in the city. There was always something going on, and there was I always felt like something was happening. Like if you were there, you were a part of something. And I don't know what that was, but I remember getting pulled over and getting interviewed to get questions for David Letterman, and I got to go to a David Letterman show because we answered the questions correctly.
Oh, neat.
We went to a Montel Williams show. That was pretty cool. But there was always something going on, I felt. And then when we were driving, we were in Fort Lee, New Jersey. You could see it from across the. Is it a bay? Yeah. I don't know. But the buildings seemed endless. It seemed like it never ended.
We got 30 seconds left.
Ooh.
Vote for Melanie Patterson for delegate. Get out and do that in the next
vote.
Yep.
Tuesday morning. Have breakfast with your friends, coffee, and then get out to vote.
Okay, on this road called life, you have to take the good with the bad. Smile when you're sad, love what you got, and remember what you had. Always forgive, but never forget. Learn from your mistakes. People change. Things go wrong. Just remember the ride goes on. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you all again on Tuesday. Take care and have a nice weekend.
Good weekend.